Wagwan peeps, welcome back. It is eviction day, guys. It is time to pack up these weeds and get rid of them. It is time for them to go underway. They've made the garden look great. I'm not going to lie. They've been lush and beautiful, but they're overgrown, filled with seed pods and seed heads, and it's time for them to go. So it is eviction day. I need to reclaim this garden. I need to bring it back to its glory. I need to feel better within myself. And right now, my garden is a reflection of how I feel. So I need to get my garden back in tip-top shape and lighten up the load on this side of the house. It's very heavy on this side. So with that, I had to bring in reinforcement, okay? So this is my firstborn son. Technically, my mother is his biological mother, but I raised him, so therefore he is my child. I'm just telling him what I expect of him, what I want him to do in this area, what to pull and what not to pull. At a moment, guys, I thought I had to snap one of his little fingers because he pulled up my daylilies. I thought it was grass, a weed. Oh my gosh. So we're just gonna be just start pulling some weeds and get it out of here. This area, you see that hibiscus on the left? That is the beautiful creme de la creme hibiscus, guys. Each petal has a point, like a double point on the tips. Gorgeous, just beautiful. In this area, when I get my first frost around that time, when these die back or die down, this area is going to be extremely empty. There's going to be a big gap where you see the coleus, the angelonia, the grass, and the sunflowers, the sun-credible sunflowers. This is going to be a big hole right here. I just popped in some annuals to give me some color and to fill the space this season. Now that it's fall is great for planting. I'm going to replant this area with some small shrubs that, don't get really big, and some grasses because I love the texture and the height and the movement grasses add to a garden, and some perennials just to fill the space. I want the space to be like a pollinated garden because it's already showing that already. So many butterflies and bees is just beautiful. I just love to see it, and I love when my son comes and talk to me about the butterflies and the bees. He's so interested. On this side, there will also be a huge gap on the left right here where I'm currently working. I have a big patch of newly newer coleus, beautiful dark burgundy purple color right here, as you can see, with the angelonia in the front and the purple fountain grass all the way to the left. Not purple fountain grass, I cannot remember what kind of grass it was, but it's an annual. And then beside that we have the, what's the name of the plant that I am not a fan of? Nicotiana. Yes, so this is going to be a big hole as well, which I need to fill with more perennials. So I have that planned out, but first right now I just want to get rid of these weeds. Like, I cannot believe I've let this area get so overgrown. With all the rain we've had, they've just been out here living their best life, rent free, okay, doing their thing, and I'm just like, nope. You're not adding anything to this garden space. You're not adding any value. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to pack your things and get out of here. I need to come in, revamp the space, and prep the space for new tenants, some new plants. I'm not even sure what we're talking about right here, but I'm sure I was questioning him regarding the friends that he keeps and the girls that he's talking to or dating. As a mother do, you question your child, trying to figure out what's going on in their lives. My brother does not live here. He's just here visiting, so I have to question him as much as possible. I need to know where his head is at all times, what he's thinking, what's his plans, what's his goals, and try to lead him and keep him on the right path. Here we are just trying to figure out what is wrong with this fountain. I could not get this fountain to work properly all season. I took your guys' advice and I bought Flex Seal. I sealed the bottom and top basins so the water does not leak out, but I cannot get the fountain pump, the gauge, correctly. It's too powerful. Even on the lowest setting, it is just too powerful. So I'm going to have to buy a smaller pressured pump. So that's what I'm doing here, trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with this pump. Like, why can I not turn it down? There is no direction on the pump to tell you to go left or right for a more positive or negative flow, like higher flow or lower flow. So I'm just here like, let's put it together and see what's going on, and we adjust as we go. Do you guys remember I drove 3 hours to Virginia for this fountain, one way, and 3 hours back? As soon as we got there, I paid for it, loaded up in the back of the pickup truck, and turned right around. We did not tarry. We did not take a break. You know what? Shout out to my husband for always being supportive, for always encouraging and just going with the flow and going along with my crazy ideas. So right here I'm just watching like, why is this fountain keep spitting up so much water? And I've put it on the lowest setting. So like, let's try this again. Let's turn it around. Or I thought it was the lowest setting because the knob, it doesn't tell you which is higher or which is low. There's not a plus or negative sign on there. So I was like, let's just play around with it because I don't know. I just don't know. But now it's running, and then I'm looking at it and I was like, the area that is in with all the rain and all of the clay soil that I have in this area, I think the weight of the fountain tilted, so it looked like the fountain is leaning. So I'm gonna have to have my husband come in, take it apart completely, and re-level the bottom base that the bottom basin is actually sitting or standing on. Just pulling more weeds. I must say, I'm impressed. This area really came along together so well this season. And do you guys see the plain the blue salvia everywhere? It is actually a perennial here in zone 7, and I love it, and so do the bees. I've planted 12, and they're all gonna come back. Now I'm gonna have to replace a few, like move them around so the color is distributed evenly in this area, because some area is just really heavy and I don't like the way it looks. But overall, this space came together great and I love it. I just have to move around some plants. It feels so much better with how light it feels and looked. The grasses, the weeds, everything played a part in the lushness, but it's not needed all the time now that I look at it. Like, it felt so good sitting outside after I worked so hard in the garden and just look at this space. It's just so beautiful. By the way, that's my son. That's the twin. That's twin B. This is twin A. He loves to be outside. He loves to play with the chickens. Now I'm just brushing up, raking out any excess weeds that I might have missed, picking them up, putting in the trash. As long as you pull the weeds by the root, you can leave them there and they can dry up and die. Now, what I did not record that I did after I was finished, I used a big bottle of Preen. Like, I doused this whole area in Preen. So Preen helps to not let weeds germinate. Now, it will not work on your existing weeds, so you would have to pull your current weeds and then put down the Preen. Thank you guys for those who recommended that as well in my comments. You guys are amazing. Okay, it's like, you guys say something, I'll think about it, and then I go right to the store and I buy it if it makes sense. Preen made sense and Flex Seal made sense, and you guys are just amazing sharing your knowledge and your experience. I just love this community for that. So I use Preen, and with Preen it's like pellets, and once you put it down, you wet it, you kind of soak it, and once it kind of melts or like dissolve, it leaves like a small film over the ground so the seeds cannot germinate. So it's best to pull your current weeds because it doesn't work on current weeds, existing weeds. Other than that, the sun was getting ready to set. It was just a beautiful golden hour in this area. And I cannot wait to slowly expand the garden and move in different areas of the yard and just get it together like a small oasis. You know, who needs to go on vacation when you can vacation at home? That's the kind of vibes I'm going for. I mean, I'm still going to go on vacation, you know? I like to see the world, experience other culture and other people and other food and other liquor. Yes. But it's just amazing when people come up the street and they turn around because we live on a dead end and they look in my yard because we don't have a fence. They can see through the driveway and they look and they're just like so shocked because my house is the only house on the block that is planted up with beautiful flowers and shrubs, and I have chickens roaming freely every day. It's just like they're so shocked to see this in the city, and it makes me feel so good. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel so good when I come out each day and I see my garden. Even when it's in its worst state, people still look at it and it's like, wow, it's just so beautiful. What weeds? What are you talking about? Because they don't see what we see as gardeners. We are our biggest critics, but I'm thankful. And that's all there is for this video, folks. That's it. Everything came together as I expected. Next for this area is just planting some more permanent things, some shrubs and some perennials once we get rid of all the annuals to make space just to fill those holes. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.